Welcome back to Bears Talk today. My name is Justin Evans alongside of my co-host Michael DeFrancisco. And Mike, we actually won a game that
a win's a win.
A win's a win. You're right.
A win's a win. I'll take it. I'll take it. You know what I'm saying? One pretty. But we got it done, Justin. We got it done.
Yeah, it was not. So we are going to kind of unpack the monstrosity of what happened yesterday and give our thoughts and let's go into it. So we obviously won last night's game 25-24, block field goal kick. We're back to 500. Mike, I want to ask you, how insane was this game? Tell me your emotions, overall thoughts.
Well, I think I experienced every emotion on the spectrum during this game, right? I experienced absolute rage and frustration. The fact that Maxx Crosby was single-handedly sabotaging our game.
Yeah.
I mean, I noticed this yesterday. How long do you think his arms are? 65 inches? His wingspan's got to be 8 feet long.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy's arms were so long. He was batting down passes. He batted a pass to himself.
Which is insane. I think that was his first career interception. I was shocked. I thought he had one.
Yeah, I mean, I expected him to be like a J.J. Watt type of guy that was just getting those, a couple times a season. But, I mean, he was wrecking the game. Couldn't run the ball to his side. He was beaten. Theo Benedict off the ball constantly. It was rough. So that said, I was frustrated. But on the flip side, I was happy because Geno Smith was throwing interceptions. We were getting those turnovers on defense that we talked about last week that we got against the Cowboys.
Yes.
We were setting ourselves up in good field position. And then I was frustrated again because our offense couldn't capitalize in the red zone, and we kicked a field goal, and there were just so many red zone miscues. We couldn't snap the ball correctly. We got like negative 20 yards. It was just such a confusing, frustrating game, especially in that first half. So to come out with a win in a game like that, and we'll get into later about just how sloppy everything was, but all of those things in mind, I think that it just feels good to have won that game.
Yeah, well, I think when you look at this game, I'm pretty sure you saw Ben Johnson's halftime interview. I mean,
he was not messing around.
There was a lot of explicitives we can't say on TV that was used in the locker room.
Yeah.
And I think that definitely helped out with the emotions. But, I mean, I'm just like you, Mike. I literally was sitting there like the emotions were up, then they were down. For the first half, it really made it seem like the defense was really helping us out, but our offense couldn't help them out.
Right.
It's funny when you look at the end of the game and you see Caleb's reaction. Like, I think in his mind, he was like, we're going to lose. And then he just saw the block, and he's like, yes, like we won. Yeah. So, I mean, I think I'm kind of the same perspective as you, Mike. Was it the most prettiest win in the world? No, but we won, so I'll take it. I was really, really hoping. I literally stayed up for that Monday night game to hope to see the Packers lose and they get into a tie. So, what the heck?
I'm just saying, not everybody can beat the Cowboys by 3 scores.
Not everybody
you're right.
Beat
the Cowboys by 3 scores. Just saying. Saying.
Yeah.
No, and I agree with you. Like, it was a thing where our defense was, they were causing turnovers. They were making plays. Shout out Tyreek Stevenson.
Yes.
My guy. I believed in you this past offseason. I knew you were going to make plays, comes out. But, like, it would be funny. It would be like, all right, we get Geno to throw a bad interception. Great. We get the ball, can't convert. They get the ball back. Genty's going for 65-yard touchdown. Yeah. So it's like
Genty looked like Barry Sanders out there.
Yeah, Genty, he was putting up. I mean, it's not like we passed on him. It's not like we had an opportunity to take him, but he looked like he was like the score X there for a second. He really wanted to put his best foot forward against the Bears, and he did. It was his best game of his young career so far. So shout out to Ashton Genty. You should be a Bear right now. But it was very, very emotional game. The offense, like I said, couldn't get much going in the first half. But one guy I want to shout out, and I've been critical of him, and I see you put this on the script. Cairo Santos.
Yes.
The GOAT.
The GOAT.
I've been critical of him. I've talked a lot of crap about him. I said that his leg isn't strong enough, yada, yada, yada. He was huge today.
Yeah.
Yesterday, 4 for 4 on field goals. Kicked the extra point. I mean, we needed every single point. So if one of those kicks didn't go through the upright, we would have been in a really bad spot. So shout out to Cairo Santos.
Yeah.
And again, that just goes to show that the game is in 3 phases: offense, defense, special teams. That's what Caleb talked about in his post-game interview. Special teams came up huge for the Bears today.
They did.
Huge. And that's one of those things where, in my lifetime, Justin, in our lifetime, not that I act like you're like 50 years old. In our lifetimes, the Bears lose this game.
Yes.
Right? A game where they have a undrafted free agent tackle, a rookie on the other side. They're going up against Maxx Crosby. They can't run the ball at all. Their defense is letting up big plays. They lose those games. So to take all of those challenges, the special teams made plays when they need to make plays. I really do think it's just so encouraging. And it's like, yeah, you beat the Raiders by 1 point. That's not ideal. But to me, to win with those circumstances on the road, I just think that's such a good thing. It's just such a good feeling to have, because the Bears teams of my lifetime do not do that. They don't go and win in an environment like that.
No, and I was just telling Mike before we started on the cameras, I sat and watched that game and watched the Raiders make that field goal. And I'm not going to lie, in my mind, I was like, we should have, scored the extra point, the last time we were in possession.
Point, yeah.
And I was just like sitting there like, oh, okay, here we go again. Like, it's going to happen. But I think it was one of the greatest surprises ever. And I think by just looking at, what Ben Johnson is, I mean, that's how they were in Detroit. They played every single minute. They didn't let up. It wasn't easy. Max Crosby was giving Caleb Williams nightmares in his sleep probably, because I mean, even when it came to double and tripling him, he still found a way to get open. Yeah. So, and we spoke about that the last episode too, about you have to contain him or else he's going to cause havoc. And unfortunately he did, but it wasn't enough for the Raiders to get a win. So, man.
Yeah, no, it's one thing to know you have to block Max Crosby.
Yeah.
It's another thing to actually do it.
Do it, yeah.
And Darnell Wright being out was a huge, huge loss for the Bears. It would be a huge loss regardless, especially when you're going up against a guy like Max Crosby.
Yeah.
Again, you had to throw in Theo Bennett and Ozzie Trapillo, who had to play tackle. They put in effort, that's for sure.
Yeah, they did.
I think they got better as the game went along. I don't necessarily think they shut down Max Crosby. I think that would be a bit optimistic, but they did enough to where he wasn't completely wrecking our entire offense like he was in the first half. So that's a positive. Another thing I want to highlight in this game, Justin, is Ben Johnson, specifically his clock management. So we talk about that blocked field goal. That won us the game. We were able to recover the ball, take a knee. Awesome. Well, what would have happened if they had made the field goal? Say we were down now 25-27. The Bears kept 2 of their timeouts, and they had 40 seconds. All right, that's plenty of time for Caleb, especially with these new kickoff rules. That is plenty of time for Caleb to get them down the field and get them into Cairo Santos field goal range. Now, again, does he have the strongest leg in the NFL? No, he does not. But if they could have gotten the ball to, let's say, the 35-yard line for a 52-yard field goal, I think they could have done that with 2 timeouts in 40 seconds.
Yeah.
Caleb, one thing that he has been, even last year when the sky was falling and everything was going wrong, Caleb has been clutch in these money situations.
Yeah, he
Fourth quarter, overtime, 4th down, when you need a play, Caleb's going to make it. So I do expect that he would have taken them down the field. But Justin, another thing that I think is so encouraging is, I mean, Bears' last drive of the game, right? 11 plays, 69 yards, took 5 minutes off the clock. The Bears marched down the field, got in the end zone. They didn't get the 2-point conversion, which obviously, they would have wanted for the field goal cushion.
Yeah.
But Caleb, when the Bears needed a drive, he got him down the field and he took him in the end zone.
He did.
I think that's so encouraging. And in a game, you look at his stats, right? What were his stats necessarily? He was 22 of 37 for a touchdown and a pick. Stats don't jump off the page.
No.
But I think his mental toughness and I think his composure under pressure was also a big difference in this game for the Bears.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that, when you look, it's easy to win the blowout games like we won in Week 3 in Dallas, but when you win the uglier games, it just brings a different type of confidence that you are looking for. And I think also as well, I mean, I just thought overall he played, it wasn't his best game, but he played to the point of where, he played of heart. And honestly, I didn't see that at all last year. It was like, we're down 10, 15 points. I'll just be mediocre. But no, you're seeing, and I give a lot of credit to Ben Johnson because I think because of Ben Johnson at the helm, he's telling his team like, hey, I don't care if we're down by 25. Like, we're still going to play hard and we're still going to be able to go out there and give it our best shot. And they did, and they won it.
And you can see the culture changing in Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, did you see the video of their locker room kind of hype that they had?
Yes.
Ben Johnson's speech that he gave. They gave the game ball to Santos and Blackwell, and I mean, like, it just feels like there's a different vibe in Chicago this year.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy. One thing I will say, a stat I saw that is absolutely mind blowing, and I knew the stat. I remember it from last year. Ben Johnson now has more road Sunday wins than Matt Eberflus.
Wow.
Matt Eberflus went 0 for 18 on road Sunday games.
Man.
Now, the one exception, which is technically not an exception, but when we won in London last year, we were designated as the home team, so that doesn't count as technically a road game.
Right,
It's a road game, in fairness. 0-18 on road Sunday games. Ben Johnson is now 1-1 on road Sunday games. So he's already beaten Ben Matt Eberflus in that category.
Yeah, he already has a better record.
I think says more about how bad Matt Eberflus was and giving up 40 points to the Packers yesterday. Last night was perfect for our agenda.
Yeah,
because
it was.
Matt Eberflus got cooked and the Packers couldn't beat the Cowboys. That's like the perfect thing for us. Like
absolute
both
cinema.
of our agenda, absolute cinema, absolute cinema. So yeah, I mean, we'll get in more in the nitty gritty. So we talked about some of the positives: Caleb's composure, Ben Johnson's clock management, the defense getting takeaways. One of the things that I did not like to see, and this is something that happened last week, and it's something that's been happening the entire season. It's a big, big problem for the Bears right now. The running game on both sides of the ball. We ran the ball 26 times for 69 yards, 2.7 yards per carry.
Jeez.
Yikes. They ran the ball 31 times for 240 yards, 7.7 yards per carry. Now, I get they have Ashton Genty.
Yeah.
But, man, Justin, we got to clean that up.
Yeah,
You're not going to win a lot of games where you get outrushed 240 to 69.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think our run game on both ends of the ball were very, very weak, and I think definitely. I was with my family watching that game yesterday, and I was just telling them, in Detroit, Ben Johnson ran the ball a lot because you had Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. You don't have that here, so I would like to see his play calling kind of switch it up a little bit. I don't think we should completely go away from the run game, but for us to sit up here and to do the same thing, knowing our team is not good at that, that is going to. In a critical game, I feel like we definitely had some shades of luck in this game. Our defense played really well, but our offense has to capitalize. So I would definitely want to see some different plays be called. Even if it's more throwing than running, whatever it may be. Yeah. Our run game is not strong right now, and I don't think continuously trying to use DeAndre Swift to run up the middle. I don't think that's going to work.
No, and I think. And I'd have to look at some advanced data before I give you a real assessment, but my eye test tells me our offensive line's better this year.
Yeah.
I think Jonah Jackson and Joe Thuney and Drew Dahlman are making a difference in the interior. Obviously, this past game we had an undrafted free agent and a rookie starting at tackle. That's not going to be fun.
Yeah.
But when we get, Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright back into the fold, specifically Darnell Wright, I think who's good. Our offensive line, I think, is above average. I think it would be fair to say.
Yeah.
My issue is I think we got to get DeAndre Swift out of there. I
Really?
I don't think that he is a quality running back. I don't think that he has the – what's the word I'm looking for? The confidence. I don't think he's got like the ability to consistently hit the hole correctly. Conviction. He doesn't have the conviction to hit the hole correctly. Yeah. I think that he tries to do too much sometimes. I just think with the ball in his hands in the open field, he's not bad. I don't think he's slow. He can make a guy miss, etc. I just don't think that he is a guy who has great ball carrier vision right now.
Yeah.
Kyle Monangai, I think, has been okay. He's not very explosive, but he's okay. Justin, we're deviating a little bit off the script here, but I want to ask you, are there running backs across the league that you think the Bears can make a trade for? Like, say we're in the wild card hunt, end of the season, because I have one guy in mind, Breece Hall of the Jets.
Oof.
What do you call it New York? What do you see what they want?
Yeah,
I don't think they're a playoff team.
No,
they're obviously in a transitional year or so. I believe Breece Hall is a free agent after this season, or maybe the year after. Maybe you give the Jets a third, fourth rounder for Breece Hall. I think he's good. Yeah. You can obviously get some other guys as well. I think Kenneth Walker. I think the Seahawks won't want to trade Kenneth Walker. I think he's too good. But yeah, I honestly think that the Bears need to make a move for a running back. I think Swift, he's not the only issue, but I think we need to upgrade DeAndre Swift. I'm going to be honest with you.
No, I agree.
Ben Johnson's traded him once. He'll do it again.
And it's funny you mentioned that because a good friend of mine, Brandon, had commented in our YouTube chat, Swift has bottom 5 vision in the league. Ben Johnson has worked it before, and he got traded. So, you know what?
Brandon knows ball. I swear I did not read that.
No, yeah.
I swear I did
Mike
not
didn't
read that.
Yeah,
until I just clicked on
Mike
that.
did not read
funny.
that. Yeah, so, I just think as well, yeah, you're right. I think, calling up New York is a good idea. I think it's just going to be tough because what assets can we give besides picks for Swift, and who would take Swift? Because I'm pretty sure the rest of the league knows he's not good either.
Well, and this is a good transition into our next topic.
Yeah, go ahead.
If anybody needs a tight end, I'm ready to get Cole Kmet off my team, man.
Seriously, dude.
That was rough. So I'm going to push back against all of the, Cole Kmet had one bad game and yada, 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 yada.
No, man.
First of all, there's a reason we drafted Colston Loveland
in
the top 10. Ben Johnson clearly likes that flavor of tight end more than Cole Kmet.
Yes.
Cole Kmet, I don't think is a good enough receiver to get consistent reps in a Ben Johnson offense. I just don't think he matches.
No.
He's not Sam Laporte. He's not Colston Loveland. He's not a guy that you can consistently rely on to create separation and make plays after the catch. He's, I think, more of a inline blocker, big body, good blocker, yes, but I just don't know if he works with the Bears offense. Yesterday, that drop, it seared into my brain.
Yeah,
he actually also had another one that I think could have been caught on the sideline. So I'm ready to get rid of Cole Kmet. So if any team needs a tight end and you have a nice young running back, give Ryan Poles a call.
XFL. We're coming for you.
Trade him to the
XFL.
The Birmingham Stallions or whatever they're called.
Yeah. St. Louis Battlehawks.
St. Louis Battlehawks.
They're looking for you,
bro. Get ready to learn St. Louis, buddy. No, I think, again, any team that has a nice running back, are they just going to trade him for pennies on the dollar? No, but Cole Kmet, I think, could be a trade piece in that. And also, one thing that I kind of am seeing that I'm noticing, DJ Moore is no longer the wide receiver one of this offense.
I honestly, since our first game, I've been thinking that, bro, because
he is not the wide receiver one.
He's not. I mean, and you think about it, I mean, he signed that extension a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
Thinking that he would be the main guy. And obviously, Rome was decent last year, but really this year he's been just excelling.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Caleb's like, all right, I'm going to target on Rome.
He's his go-to guy.
He's the go-to guy. So I definitely feel like it's almost a good problem to have, but you don't want that to be, DJ Moore having an ego and kind of like a Malik Neighbors, like, oh, give me the ball, I need the ball. So we'll see how that will
and I also think something very interesting, where Ben Johnson, and this was more so a couple weeks ago when he was talking about our practice habits are yet to reflect a championship level team. I think he might have had a couple guys, and people have been, I've been seeing people say, oh, well, DJ Moore, bad body language, and the Bears hate him, and yada. I don't think it's that. I just don't think that he is as valuable as he was a couple of years ago for the Bears.
Yeah.
You got Rome Odunze. You have Luther Burden. You took Colston Loveland, top 10 in the draft. I think, and I'm not saying trade DJ Moore for a running back on its own.
Yeah.
But I think DJ Moore now becomes a movable asset for the Bears. So I just think that's interesting. But, with Justin Fields, and we're not bringing, name redacted, right? We can't say Justin Fields on the show anymore. But with Justin Fields, I mean, the offense flowed through DJ Moore.
It did.
There were screens. There were reverses. They were trying to hit him on crossers. The offense doesn't go through DJ Moore anymore.
No, it doesn't.
It is Rome Odunze is clearly the wide receiver one. And, again, we have to remind ourselves that Ben Johnson did not trade for DJ Moore.
No.
Ben Johnson did not extend DJ Moore.
Nope.
Ben Johnson has nothing to do with DJ Moore. I'm sure he likes Rome. He drafted Luther. He drafted Loveland. He had no play in DJ Moore at all. So I'd say watch out for that. I would say watch out for that. But
now, I know we're kind of jumping ahead, but I mean, how do you feel if Ben Johnson was like, you know what, I want to put DJ Moore on the chopping block? How would you feel about that?
I'd say, what do we get? I think his value right now is probably a second. So I'd say, Kansas City Chiefs, you guys need a receiver?
Oh, yeah.
You guys need a receiver?
Why not?
Maybe we could make something happen. I wonder, though, what they could really give us in terms of players.
Yeah.
I don't know that they necessarily have somebody that we would want. Again, you'd have to trade DJ Moore for either a premium pick, top 40, 50-ish pick, or you'd have to get a player that could benefit your team. Some of our needs right now, I don't think they're necessarily things that the Chiefs have in spades. But it'd be interesting to see. I don't know. I'd wonder. So if you tell me they traded DJ Moore, I wouldn't necessarily be upset. I would just be interested to see what the package in return was. My kind of answer.
I agree.
So yeah, I don't know. What about you? What do you think about trading DJ Moore?
I think definitely it's something that we should explore.
Yeah.
I think if we're seeing Rome excel, and we're seeing guys like Luther Burden excel, or just people. Or if we're seeing our young receiver core excel and DJ Moore is kind of just standing in the corner, I think it's helpful.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, And I feel like that's what Ben Johnson wants. Ben Johnson wants to start his own core, to be able to start, to build his own, right?
Yeah.
So I think having him come out there and having his young receiver core that he can be able to develop and train right when they get drafted or second-year players, I think Ben Johnson would rather have that than to have, an all-pro receiver.
Yeah, no, I agree. Now, going back to this game in the micro, with this win, the Bears moved to 2-2, 500 on the season.
I was shocked.
After starting 0-2, I would like to say, before we go any further, I am 4-0 on my team predictions this year.
Yeah, you are.
I'm just pointing that out
there.
You
are.
So I think that's a good segue then. We have the bye week next week, which, by the way, I hate having a week 5 bye week.
Roger Goodell, stop screwing us over.
Roger Goodell, man. Let's pick it up. All right? Listen, I know you hate the Bears. You're probably a Packers fan. You've been rigging the league for them for 40 years, so they always have good quarterbacks. We get it, right? But give the Bears like a week 10, 11 bye week next time. All right?
Seriously. Yeah.
Anyways, Bears have a bye. They go into the bye at 500, 2-2. Justin, if we look at the upcoming schedule, okay, now I am Mr. Optimist, I will say.
Yeah.
We could be stacking some wins here pretty soon.
We could.
Let me tell you what they got.
Yeah.
On my birthday, Monday night, they play Washington Commanders. Now, if there's ever a team who wants to avenge a loss from last season, a loss that crippled their season, it would be the Bears against the Commanders in primetime. I don't know what the injury designation for Jaden Daniels is. I know he didn't play the last 2 weeks. I think he'll play this upcoming week. I'm not sure, though. Regardless, he'll be probably, I'm sure, nursing that injury. After the Commanders, so that's a winnable game, I would say. Winnable game. After the Commanders, it's the Saints. Lord help us if we don't beat the Saints.
Yeah.
We're gonna need a Saint because I'm gonna be.
Mike is crashing out on set.
Crashing out is putting it lightly.
Yeah.
And then we got the Ravens, and I'll say this: this is where Mr. Optimism comes in.
Yeah.
The Ravens are 1-3.
Yeah, they're not
Lamar
good
Jackson's
this season.
Nate Wiggins got hurt.
Yeah.
Isaiah likely hasn't played. Justin Madubuike was put on injured reserve, so he won't be playing in that game. Wait, ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So
Derrick Henry has lost his magic.
Not been Derrick Henry this year.
No.
Listen, game's in Baltimore. I'm not gonna go crazy.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. You know what I'm saying. I'm not gonna say it out loud, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, we all know what Mike's thinking. So
then we got the Joe Burrow-less Bengals.
Yeah, man.
There we go. The Giants. There we go. Then the gauntlet begins, right?
Yeah.
We got to go to Minnesota. Although Minnesota hasn't looked good with
they've fallen back to reality, which is
they haven't looked good with Carson Wentz, and honestly, J.J. McCarthy hasn't looked much better.
No.
So I think they beat us on some fluky stuff last time we played them.
Yeah.
Maybe. Then we get the Steelers. The Steelers, to me, I mean, we got to beat Aaron Rodgers. That's just point blank period. But I don't think they're really that good. Question mark? I don't think.
No, I feel like they're average, but if they play like a Philadelphia or a top NFC team, they're not winning. I don't think they're winning against them.
Yeah, so I think Pittsburgh's probably 50-50, maybe 55-45 since we are the home team there.
Yeah.
Then we have to go to Philadelphia. Okay. Anyways.
L.
We probably won't even watch the game that week. Just mark it in your calendars and don't stress yourself out.
Yep.
Then we have to go. This is where it gets tough.
Yeah.
We got to go to Green Bay. Now, we've talked a lot about Green Bay.
We have.
You and I.
Yeah.
I've been much more optimistic about them. Going into the season, you were, I think, lower on them. And I think so far you've been proven correct. Last 2 weeks, Justin, lost to the Browns.
Yeah.
And then they tied the Cowboys.
Yeah,
They tied the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb, with the return of Micah Parsons. Like, all the hype around this game was Micah Parsons.
Yeah.
They tied.
Yeah, they did.
They let up 40 points. They almost lost, actually.
Yeah, they
remember
did.
Jordan Love in that last play on overtime, the ball tipped or hit the ground at the 1 second mark. Are the Packers as good as I thought, I guess? Because I know you were a little bit – you wanted to knock them down a few pegs.
I did.
Are the Packers – maybe were you more correct on the Packers than I was? I thought they were like a legit NFC Super Bowl contender. Maybe they're not.
No, and I think definitely you have to look at it like this. This is the same Cowboys team that we obliterated 2 weeks ago with even less talent on I feel like the Packers have more household names.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how do you also, like, you let them tie you and then you allow 40 points on defense with Micah Parsons. And this is the Cowboys.
Dak was carving them up without CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah.
Without CeeDee Lamb, he was carving them up.
Exactly.
And obviously Javonte Williams has been good, but it's not like he ran for 120 yards.
It's not like George Pickens had a monster game or nothing too crazy, right? So it was so much that after watching that Sunday night game, that should prove to most people that the Packers aren't where they need to be right now. And it's unfortunate because you go out here, you make this big trade to get this star player, but then the problem still exists with Jordan Love. I mean, it was both sides of the ball last night, but I don't feel like Jordan Love, if he's playing a above average team or a team that challenges him, he's not that great. He either makes boneheaded plays, or he just doesn't deliver. And I think there's only so many times you can let Josh Jacobs bail you out before you have to rely. Seriously, I mean, Josh Jacobs looked like Ashton Genty yesterday. He was killing the Cowboys defense, which the Cowboys don't have a defense, so that should tell you something on how they allowed 40 points.
Again, we talked about it earlier. Good for our agenda, right?
Yeah,
Packers. Tie the Cowboys, but also Matt Eberflus got destroyed. It was perfect. Absolute cinema for us.
It was perfect.
You mentioned Josh Jacobs. I do want to say Roll Tide beat Georgia this weekend.
Yeah, they did.
Shout out the boys.
They did.
We back. Anyways, so Packers are maybe not as good as I thought. Then you get to the Browns, and as long as we don't pull the Packers, I think that's very winnable. By that point, December 14th, I think that's Shedeur Sanders time.
I think so too. Yeah.
I think that's a
perfect timing.
Perfect timing for Mr. Shedeur Sanders.
Yes.
I think by that point, Dion will probably threaten the entire Browns organization. Shedeur will be starting.
Yeah.
You get the vibes.
Yes.
Then we play the Packers again. We play the Packers 2 times in 3 weeks, which
crazy.
Again, just raw, man.
Yeah.
What you doing? What are you doing? And we play the Packers on a short week as well, because we play that game against the Browns on December 14th. Play the Packers December 20th. I will say, beating the Packers right before Christmas.
That'd be a great Christmas gift.
That might feed families for generations, Justin.
Yeah.
I won't lie. That might feed families for generations.
It definitely will.
Then we got to go and play the Niners. Again, a team that I thought was going to be really good.
But then they lost to Jacksonville yesterday.
They lost to Jacksonville, and they're so banged up.
They are.
Kittle's hurt right now. Nick Bosa tore his ACL. Purdy missed the last couple of games. Pearsall's hurt. Juwan Jennings is hurt. I mean, this is like the San Francisco injured reserves. They are just and I feel bad for them. I do. But this is a game where we might see the Niners at 70% strength.
Yeah.
I mean, they're this hurt now. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And then you play the Lions week 18, excuse me. Talked about the Lions. Maybe they'll have the number 1 seed. Maybe they won't be playing, or maybe their seeding will be locked in to the point where they don't need to give effort. Although I can't imagine Dan Campbell calling off the Dogs.
Yeah.
Truthfully, I can't imagine that. But maybe they sit a Jahmyr Gibbs, or they sit a Amon-Ra St. Brown, or Aiden Hutchinson is a little banged up and they let him rest for this game. Could go in the Bears' benefit. Who knows?
Yeah.
But Justin, after all of those factors I just named, after how the Bears played, are we back to the playoffs?
I'm gonna say maybe. I think definitely if you were to just look at these past 4 games that we've played, I definitely think really after the Cowboys win that we played with effort. And I think that's going to be the key description or the key factor going into the rest of this season. If we're able to play with effort, if we're able to play with heart, no matter if we're down 10, down 5, down a field goal, it can carry us. That win was ugly yesterday, but it was needed because we need to have that confidence. If you look at great teams like the Eagles or Chiefs, it didn't matter if they were down 25-30.
Eagles were down, 26-7 last week? Scored 30 unanswered?
Exactly, against the Rams.
Yeah.
So you have to be able to build these ugly wins, build these close game wins, dominate in some of these wins in order to build confidence to say, you know what, we're down right now, but you know what, I believe in our team and we're going to be able to come back and capitalize. So I think definitely I have a stronger confidence than I did week 1 to say, you know what, we can make the playoffs, or you know what, we can be in the hunt versus, we're just going to be have a poor record again and not even compete. I think definitely, like we said before, Ben Johnson really changed the culture of this team. And because, of his harder attitude, and we even talked about it earlier in the year about how he was a no-nonsense guy, and that's what we need in this locker room. We have a bunch of young guys who are talented and they know what they're doing. So we need a guy who say, you know what, I'm going to yell at you in front of the whole entire team because this is one team. I'm not going to give you any special treatment to say, hey, Caleb Williams, you're the first overall draft pick. I'm not going to work you as hard. No, you're the face of our franchise. I'm going to work you even harder.
Yep.
So
he's really he's really kind of going in on Caleb, and I think that's what's led to so much growth from him.
Yeah.
They were joking in the post-game interview yesterday where they're like, is he going to give you his flowers finally? And Caleb's like, well, I threw a pick to Max Crosby, so I don't know. Probably not. I'll say this, Justin. I think our next 5 games determine the season.
Yes, I agree.
In my opinion, if we can win 4 of the next 5 against Commanders, Saints, Ravens, Bengals, Giants, win 4 of those 5.
Yeah.
You're 6-3.
Man.
At that point, you have to feel pretty good about the playoffs. You have to feel like you're building a lot of momentum. Now, I think the Saints and the Bengals without Joe Burrow and the Giants, we should win.
Yeah, they're
we
all
should
beatable.
not drop any of those games.
No.
We got to win one of the games in Maryland. We got to beat the Commanders or we got to beat the Ravens. My money would be on the Commanders.
Mine
right?
too, yeah.
Got to beat one of those teams. If you can win those 3 games you're supposed to win and beat one of the Commanders and Ravens, the Bears are in a really good spot.
Yeah.
Really, really good spot. Because then say they're 6-3, right? Then they beat the Steelers, 7-3. Then they beat the Browns, that's 8-3. You beat maybe the Niners, and you take a game or 2 from the division, that equals 9 to 10 wins. That's a playoff team.
That is.
And if you're not a playoff team at 10 wins, that says more about the NFC, yada, yada. But this schedule sets up very nicely. So, obviously, next week there's no game. So, we will have a week to clean up some of the penalties and some of the procedural stuff we did wrong and some of the rusty parts on offense.
Yeah.
But, Justin, there's a very good chance – I won't say very good. There's a very good opportunity that the Bears in 5 weeks in 6 weeks are 6-3.
Man.
If you told me that after we started 0-2, if you told me that after we just lost 52-21 against the Lions, you say Bears are going to win 6 of their next 7 games. I'll be, what did you say last week? Feeling nicey.
Feeling nicey, yeah.
I'll be feeling nicey.
Yes, exactly.
A little John Gruden action there.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that these 5 games coming up, again, we have our bye week a little early. Kind of hate it. These next 5 games coming up are going to determine our season.
I think so. Yeah.
So, a couple of other notes. Do you think I know we talked about potentially trading for a running back.
Yeah.
Do you think that there's any other area of the team the Bears need to address, whether it's cutting a player, whether it's trading for a guy on another team, whether it's, trying to recruit some of the NBA guys to play football? Like, what do you think the Bears need to do roster-wise to continue to improve this season?
So you have this tight end called Cole Kmet. Never start him again. He needs to never see. Just remove.
I've
all
never
of the
been
stuff.
a big on Cole Kmet, so I'm not going to argue.
Yeah,
with you.
no. I mean, I just because it's happened several times this season, and it's like you're making. I mean, don't get me wrong. Colston Loveland, I think, is going to be a great player, and he's already shown that in the early games. But come on, man, you can't let a rookie outtake your spot that badly. I mean, yesterday's game made it seem like we need Colston Loveland like right now. We cannot have Cole Kmet start any snaps for us. Yeah. So I think, besides the running back, which we already talked about, I definitely think having a second option for tight end would not hurt. It would not be a bad idea to have that be looked at, because I just think, the reason why Cole Kmet's left so open is because defensive coordinators know he's not going to catch the ball. He's not going to be effective, and he proved that last night. Yeah. So I just think, the 2 biggest sore spots in our offense is our running back and our tight end. We fix that, we'll be one of the top teams in our league for sure.
I'll throw up another very interesting trade.
Okay.
And do I have any sources? Do I have any rumors I've heard? This is complete just speculation. Mm-hmm. Okay. There was a report the other day that the Seattle Seahawks might look to trade Tariq Woolen.
Wow. Okay.
And I think the Bears need help in their secondary, especially with Jalen Johnson being down. Kyler Gordon hasn't played all year. Jalen Jones has missed games. Adding a guy like Tariq Woolen could be very good for this Bears team. Mm-hmm. Is he the most physical corner you've ever seen? No. Is he a tackle machine? No. He's a good cover corner. Yeah. And I think that could really help the Bears right now. I think they're getting dangerously low in the defensive backfield, and that does scare me a little bit. Yeah. So I think a guy like that could potentially be helpful. Otherwise, I agree with you. Kmet, DJ Moore, we talked about earlier, DeAndre Swift, some of those guys we might want to find some replacements for. For sure. Why I wanted a running back so bad in the draft. It was it was obvious to me last year that DeAndre Swift is not the guy.
Yeah.
And this might hurt to hear out loud, but the Bears signed DeAndre Swift for as much money as the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley for originally.
Yeah.
And you know what? To be honest, I would have went to the Eagles too. I'm not blaming Saquon.
Yeah. No.
Worked out great for him.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he doesn't regret his decision. But no, that's we need to make some improvements. We do. But again, this is year one of the Ben Johnson regime.
Yeah.
I'm not expecting everything to be perfect.
And I'm not expecting
going to be changes this offseason.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I was like, there's no way that DeAndre Swift is gonna be, Chicago Bear next year. I'll tell you that right now.
Most of these players he inherited, right? We go 2-3 years down the line, it'll be more of his team built in his image, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
Right now, it's pretty evident that this is kind of Ryan Poles' team that he's coaching in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, Justin, I think that just about does it.
Yeah.
Are we gonna do a show next week?
We'll see. Maybe
we'll ask Alex.
Yeah, Alex.
Maybe if Alex will put us on the show.
Yeah.
Maybe if he shuts off the TriCaster, maybe we won't be on. But
yeah,
that's gonna do it. I think for this week. Can I say good win? Can I say good win?
It was a good win.
It was a good win.
It was a good win.
It was a good win. It was an ugly win, but you know what? Ugly wins are better than pretty losses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Can't beat it. So that's gonna do it for this episode, Bears Talk Today. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully we'll be back next week, but we will definitely be back the following week, hopefully to talk about the Bears' Monday night win over the Washington Commanders. Justin?
Yes.
Anything else?
Thank you guys for watching. We're on Aurora Community Television. We're on Instagram, TikTok, and all the socials you can think of. So we just want to say thank you for supporting us, and until next time, we'll see you.
Peace.